last time we spoke about victim consciousness.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And it is so deeply, deeply ingrained, actually programmed into people's consciousness. And when you are, if there's any blame on others within you, you are not free from your victim consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
If you see yourself 100% responsible on everything in your life, then you have achieved the beginning stage of responsibility.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and to be fully responsible, you must have like an emotional structure, a mature emotional structure.
Beautiful, yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, which requires also a very mature parents, right, and very mature education systems. So I think I see it's hard for people to find this way inside once they don't see this way happening. They don't have models, they don't have references to see, so it's very hard to go on this path without any guidance.
Yeah. So from your and my perspective, who are in somehow in a place to wanting to guide people and society, that is an important issue.
Mm-hmm.
So I always say, education is a whole community issue.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot just do the education for kids. You need to educate parents. You need to educate teacher, and actually the whole community needs to be a learning community,
Right.
an educational community. That everybody's commitment to be should be learning. Having said that, so I don't know about you, but I didn't have any perfect parents.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time I became conscious, well, look, there's two people who love me, but completely unconscious. And many things they thought was good for me, but completely not good for me. Now, I can spend the rest of my life, blaming them.
Mm-hmm.
And always, my life is so screwed up because my parents are so screwed up, and their parents are screwed up, and their parents are screwed up, and actually, the whole society of Japan is screwed up, and there's nothing we can do about it, and I'm miserable because they are responsible. If that's the case, that's some people do it. Actually, you can live that way, or you have a choice. Okay, that's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're talking to some young people, it is true on the one hand. Their parents are screwed up and they're unconscious and they didn't do a very good job as a parent. In society too. That is true. But now, what are you going to do about it? That's when you can actually choose to be responsible. You have that free will to choose to be responsible. And that is the essence of will to power. Once you become responsible, in this way, you have power over your life. Until then, power is outside. Parents, teachers, society, and all the way to God. And they ask the stupid question, if God is so omni this, omni that, why this? Of course, you are making a wrong assumption. So your answer can never be answered. So, so when we speak with young people, especially young people, we need to let them know, yes, it is true, your parents are screwed up. Absolutely correct. And their parents are screwed up. And we have this karmic repetition. Nietzsche called this eternal recurrence. Going on and on, eternal, then never ending. We need to come out of it. Yes, come out of it. Come out is an individual responsibility, an individual task, and the individual process. You cannot depend on anybody else. And if you realize this and you choose to take responsibility, things start to happen. That is will to power, power of responsibility. And then they will begin to realize that much of what we think, our thinking is programmed, including our desires and emotions and intentions. They're all programmed into us. And once you take responsibility for your life, you begin to ask this question: what is beyond and beneath those programming? Since people use this computer analogy a lot, I'm going to use that also. It's easy to understand. Although human brain came before the computers, but I'm now using computer as a metaphor for human brain and human mind. So when you're born, you came with this unique hardware and software operating system. Being a part of a human, there's a fundamental similarities, but at the same time, for you, it is kind of unique. So think about this, like an Apple computer, they produce Apple 1, Apple 2, Apple 3, and each is slightly different. Humans can only produce one model at a time. The universe can produce millions upon millions of different program computer at the same time. There's a similarity, at the same time there's uniqueness to each computer, human mind and operating system. But the moment you're born, society hacks that original operating system with pre-existing collective program. And that programs is not interested in developing this particular computer with unique operating system. It is interested in propagating that program, collective program. That's what, in the human term, it is Jung's collective unconscious taking over your consciousness before you become fully conscious. And the primary interest of collective unconscious is its own propagation and growth, not the individual humans who can use the enormous amount of information that is available in the collective unconscious. But what is happening is most people are actually enslaved by the collective unconscious, not being the master of the use of it. So that is going on, and becoming so long, and that's part of that program is the homogenization of individuals. And part of that is victim consciousness.
Right.
Part of it is this always seeking the salvation from outside.